The sky above me is the same as the one above you. We share the same earth. We all are human beings and hence belong to the same race. But what a pity. Man has created boundaries and barriers for each other. Do you think this world would sustain itself if there is no hope? Well, we, the future citizens of this world, are the new hope that dream of harmony, love, and coexistence. This can happen only when we connect and collaborate with each other. Creating a better world requires partnerships. Life itself is not a solo act. It is a huge collaboration, and we need to assemble around us people who care for each other. We, the children of today, are the future of tomorrow. And as ambassadors of love, understanding, and peace, bring hearts together. A very good morning to the August gathering. On behalf of Saintmarks group of schools, I extend a very warm welcome to our special guest of honor, Miss Sophie Duer-Crump, Deputy Head of Mission, Royal Danish Embassy, Miss Emma Holmes Sorensen, and Miss Ashima Thukral, Advisor, Public Diplomacy and Culture, and our dear friends from Wardenborg Gymnasium, Denmark. I also heartily welcome our chairperson, Miss Anjali Agarwal ma'am, the Vice Principal of St. Mark's Girls Senior Secondary School, Miss Sabina Shergill ma'am, and Ritika ma'am, the Vice Principal of St. Mark's Senior Secondary Public School. I request our chairperson ma'am to give a sapling to our guests from the Royal Danish Embassy as a token of love and friendship. May I humbly request our chairperson to address the gathering with her encouraging words.
Good morning, everyone. It's my pleasure and my honor to welcome in our midst Miss Sophie Crump, the Acting Deputy Head of Mission of the Royal Danish Embassy, and two other representatives from the Danish Embassy, that is Miss Ashima and Miss Emma, and also our valued and honored guests from Wardenborg Gymnasium, Miss Mette and Mr. Nikolai, and students, of course, and dear parents who have made it convenient to attend this program. What do I say about this lovely bond which we share? It's a lovely bond, and we have nurtured it for some time. I have been fascinated by this country, Denmark, and so have our children. That is the reason why we had this joint project with two of our branches of St. Mark's School, the St. Mark's Co-Educational School and the St. Mark's Girls' School, made a joint project and visited Wardenborg Gymnasium. And I would like to tell you about my experience over there, even though it was for a very short time. It is a small town, in fact, not, I would even say maybe a big village as such, but it's a small town with very few inhabitants, am I right? And wonderful people. I was so impressed when I visited the school because the school had such lovely artwork. I got to know a lot about the Danish people, how they lived, and the education system over there. And I think we followed quite a few things here when we returned back to our country. Of course, Copenhagen is beautiful, and I would like to compliment the Danish people for a lovely city and a lovely country, lovely schools, but most of all, wonderful people, because we felt that they were very warm, welcoming, and I hope that we are able to extend the same hospitality to the children who have come from Denmark, and they also experience Indian hospitality. And I'm so happy that you have happened to visit our school and our country during this festive season of Diwali, because Diwali is one of the most important festivals of India. You will, of course, see houses and streets all lit up, and there's the puja in the evening. There is lighting of diyas, that is the little candles at home. Of course, we're not very happy with the amount of firecrackers which are burst. We hope that every year we see a reduction in the firecrackers, because unfortunately this is something which is causing both noise pollution as well as air pollution in our country. But I think all my children over here know how to celebrate Diwali in the true sense, in the true spirit of Diwali. Diwali is a festival of lights and not a festival of noise and pollution. I couldn't help that, children, since you were all here in front of me. It was my duty to give you this particular message. But dear friends from Denmark, let us hope that this bond of friendship, this bridge which we have crossed, becomes stronger and stronger, and love and friendship and peace is always there in our hearts. And this can only happen if children, the future citizens of tomorrow, realize that all human beings in the world are alike. You may be slightly different as far as culture and customs go, but I think there is a lot of similarity in young people all over the world. Thank you so much for visiting us here today and being part of this celebration of our friendship between Saintmarks schools and Vordingborg Gymnasium. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. At Saintmarks, we have always believed in globalization, and these exchange programs help us, the youth, to learn from and about other communities and respect their ideals, all the while propagating the values shared by our own community. I would also like to thank Ms. Mette and Mr. Nikolai for hosting us this year in April, and I hope that they too would enjoy their reciprocal visit just as we did. We all hope that our partnership would go a long way. On this note, let us begin today's event with a Bharatnatyam dance performance presented by the students of Saintmarks. Bharatnatyam is an Indian classical dance that originated in the state of Tamil Nadu. I hope you will all enjoy it.
विश्वनाथं जगन्नाथनाथं सदानन्दभाजम् प्रभुं प्राणनादं विभुं विश्वनाथं जगन्नाथनाथं सदानन्दभाजम् वैभव्यभूतेश्वरम् भूतनादम् शिवम् शङ्करम् शम्भु ईशानवीरे भले मुण्डमालम् तनौ सर्पजालम् महाकालकालम् गणेशादिपालम् गले मुण्डमालम् तनौ सर्पजालम् महाकालकालम् गणेशादिपालम् जटाजूटभङ्गोत्तरङ्गैर्विशालम् शिवम् शङ्करम् शम्भु ईशानवीरे मुदामाकरम् मण्डलम् मण्डयन्तम् प्रभामण्डलम् भस्मभूषाकरदम् आदित्यपारम् महामोहमारम् शिवम् शङ्करम् शम्भु ईशानवीरे तदाधो निवासम् महात्कटहासम् महापापनाशम् सदा सुप्रकाशम् तदाधो निवासम् महात्कटहासम् महापापनाशम् सदा सुप्रकाशम् गिरीशम् गणेशम् सुरेशम् महेशम् शिवम् शङ्करम् शम्भु ईशानवीरे गिरीन्द्रात्मजासम् गृहीतार्तदेहम् गिरौ संस्थितम् सर्वदा सन्नगेहम् गिरीन्द्रात्मजासम् गृहीतार्तदेहम् गिरौ संस्थितम् सर्वदा सन्नगेहम् परब्रह्म ब्रह्मादिदिव्यम् च मालम् शिवम् शङ्करम् शम्भु ईशानवीरे कपालम् त्रिशूलम् कराभ्यान्तरारम् पदाम्बोजनम् राय कामम् ददानम् कपालम् त्रिशूलम् कराभ्यान्तरारम् पदाम्बोजनम् राय कामम् ददानम् बलिवर्धयानाम् सुराणाम् प्रदानम् शिवम् शङ्करम् शम्भु ईशानवीरे शरच्चन्द्रगात्रम् गुणानन्दपात्रम् त्रिनेत्रम् पवित्रम् गणेशस्य नेत्रम् अपर्णाकलत्रम् चरित्रम् विचेत्रम् शिवम् शङ्करम् शम्भु ईशानवीरे हरम् सर्पहारम् चिताभूविहारम् भवम् वेदसारम् सदा निर्विकारम् हरम् सर्पहारम् चिताभूविहारम् भवम् वेदसारम् सदा निर्विकारम् श्मशाने वसन्तम् मनोजम् दहन्तम् शिवम् शङ्करम् शम्भु ईशानवीरे श्मशाने वसन्तम् मनोजम् दहन्तम् शिवम् शङ्करम् शम्भु ईशानवीरे स्तवम् यम् प्रभाते नरशूलपाणे पठेत् सर्वदा वर्गभावानुरक्ता सपुत्रम् धन मर्त्योऽस्यं प्रयाति विचित्रं समासाद्य मोक्षं प्रयाति विचित्रं समासाद्य मोक्षं प्रयाति.
That was a splendid performance. Up next, we present before you the Hanuman Chalisa in a unique style. In our culture, Hanuman Chalisa is associated with the strength and worship of Lord Hanuman. Let's witness the show.
श्री गुरु चरण सरोज रज निज मन मुकुर सुधारि बरनौ रघुबर विमल जसु जोदायक फलचारि बुद्धिहीन तनु जानिके सुमिरो पवन कुमार बल बुद्धि विद्या देहु मोहि हरहु कलेस विकार.
ज्ञान गुण सागर जय कपे सति लोक उजागर जय हनुमान ज्ञान गुण सागर जय कपे सति लोक उजागर दूत अतुलित बल धामा जन पुत्र पवन सुत नामा वीर विक्रम बजरंगी कुमति निवार सुमति के संगी जय हनुमान ज्ञान गुण सागर जय कपे सति लोक उजागर जय हनुमान ज्ञान गुण सागर जय कपे सति लोक उजागर जन वरण विराज सुबेसा कुंडल कुंचित केसा वज्र और ध्वजा विराजे कांधे मूंज जनेऊ साजे जय हनुमान ज्ञान गुण सागर जय कपे सति लोक उजागर जय हनुमान ज्ञान गुण सागर जय कपे सति लोक उजागर जय.
कर सुवन केसरी नंदन तेज प्रताप महाजगवंदन कर सुवन केसरी नंदन तेज प्रताप महाजगवंदन विद्यावान गुणी अति चातुर राम काज करिबे को आतुर विद्यावान गुणी अति चातुर राम काज करिबे को आतुर प्रभु चरित सुनबे को रसिया प्रभु चरित सुनबे को रसिया राम लखन सीता मन बसिया.
रूप धरि सियहि दिखावा रूप धरि लंक जरावा रूप धरि असुर सहारे रामचंद्र के काज सवारे जय हनुमान ज्ञान गुण सागर जय कपे सति लोक उजागर जय हनुमान ज्ञान गुण सागर जय कपे सति लोक उजागर जय.
संजीवन लखन जियाए, श्री रघुवीर हरषि पुर लाए। रघुपति कीन्ही बहुत बड़ाई, तुम मम प्रिय भरत ही सम भाई। सहस बदन तुम्हरो यश गावे, हस कहि श्रीपति कंठ लगावे।
ब्रह्मादि मुनीसा सारद सहित अहिसा, वेद दिक्पाल जहाँ दे कवि कोविद कह सके
उपकार सुग्रीव कीन्हा, राम मिलाय राजपद दीन्हा। उपकार सुग्रीव कीन्हा, राम मिलाय राजपद दीन्हा। तुमरो मंत्र विभीषण माना, लंकेश्वर भय सब जग जाना। तुमरो मंत्र विभीषण माना, लंकेश्वर भय सब जग जाना। सहस्त्र योजन पर भानु, जुग सहस्त्र योजन पर भानु, लीलो ताहि मधुर बल जानु।
मेली मुख मारी लागी गए अचरज नारी, काज जगत के जेते सुगम अनुग्रह तुम्हारे तेजे। जय हनुमान ज्ञान गुण सागर, जय कपीस तिहु लोक उजागर। जय हनुमान ज्ञान गुण सागर, जय कपीस तिहु लोक उजागर।
राम दुआरे तुम रखवारे, होत न ज्ञान बिनु पैसारे। सब सुख लहै तुम्हारी सरना, तुम रक्षक काहू को डरना। आपन तेज समारो आपै, तीनों लोक हाथ दे पापै।
निकट नहीं आवे, वीर जब नाम सुनावे। रोग हरे सब पीरा, जपत निरंतर हनुमत वीरा। जय हनुमान ज्ञान गुण सागर, जय कपीस तिहु लोक उजागर। जय हनुमान ज्ञान गुण सागर, जय कपीस तिहु लोक उजागर।
संकट ते हनुमान छुड़ावे, मन क्रम वचन ध्यान जो लावे। संकट ते हनुमान छुड़ावे, मन क्रम वचन ध्यान जो लावे। सब पर राम तपस्वी राजा, तिनके काज सकल तुम साजा। सब पर राम तपस्वी राजा, तिनके काज सकल तुम साजा। मनोरथ जो कोई लावे, और मनोरथ जो कोई लावे, सोई अमित जीवन बल पावे।
जगत उजियारा, संत के तुम रखवारे। असुर निकंदन राम दुलारे। जय हनुमान ज्ञान गुण सागर, जय कपीस तिहु लोक उजागर। जय हनुमान ज्ञान गुण सागर, जय कपीस तिहु लोक उजागर।
अष्ट सिद्धि नाम निधि के दाता, असबर दीन जानकी माता। राम रसायन तुम्हारे पासा, सदा रहो रघुपति के दासा। करे भजन राम को पावे, जन्म जन्म के दुख बिसरावे।
रघुवर पुर जाई, जन्म हरि भक्त कहाई। देवता चित्त न धरई, हनुमत से सर्व सुख करई। संकट कटई मिटई सब पीरा, जो सुनि जय हनुमत बल कीरा। जय 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 हनुमान गोसाई, कृपा करहु गुरुदेव विनायक। सुख होई जो यह पढ़े हनुमान चालीसा होए सिद्धि साखी गौरी सा सीता से सदा चले नाथ जय के जय हनुमान ज्ञान गुण सागर जय सभी लोक उजागर जय पवन तनय संकट हरणे मंगल पूरे राम लखन सीता सहित हृदय बसहु सुरभूमि।
Wasn't that divine? But why stop the dancing just now? We now have with us young damsels to grace the stage with yet another captivating dance, the Dhanuchi. It is a dance form associated with the worship of goddess Durga. That was simply amazing. Come, let us relive the beautiful moments spent in Denmark with some amazing people. Let us go down the memory lane along with you all to catch the glimpse of our unforgettable experience of the Nordic nations. It is now time for our Danish guests from Mordenborg Gymnasium to take over the stage and reveal some exciting things about their country. But before that, I invite Miss Mette Bone to come on the stage and say a few words.
Hello, everybody. On behalf of all my students and my colleague, the whole school, we would like so deeply to thank you. The school here, of course, but first of all, the parents, the families who received our students so well. Thank you very much. We only arrived very, very late Saturday night. We haven't really a very huge impression of India. We've seen so many people, and as Nikolai said yesterday, I've never seen so many cars in my life. And again, the kindness of the people we've met, thank you so much. You heard a little bit about the exchange, so I'm not going too much into that. I'd like to tell you the origin of the exchange, when it started. This group of students, about 2 years ago, I asked them, would you like to exchange letters with a school in California? And they said, yeah, why not? A good way to practice English. The partner in California, Mr. Alan Whitten, whom I think most of you know, many of you know. He then suddenly one day wrote me that, why don't you enter another project, a more international project, finding solutions to poverty, hunger, and inequality. Very ambitious project. He said, my good friend in India, Mrs. Vaneet Kaur, suggested that you enter this. Okay, interesting. So I asked the students, we have to do that in Denmark, we can't just tell them. So would you like to take part? And they said, yeah, but then we want to go to India. Okay, sure. So we worked quite intensely with this project about inequality, or beating inequality, beating poverty. And then a few months later I said, after our summer vacation, okay, so you've done nothing, you need a lot of money to go to India, you haven't earned any money, let's agree that we drop this project. No, we want to go to India. So I wrote an email to my friend, Vaneet Kaur, saying, is it possible that we come visiting you, staying with families, whatever? And I heard nothing for 3 days. And I said, okay, I overstepped the boundaries. You can't really go ask people that. And then after 3 days, I had this email, sorry it took me so long. You're welcome, you can come so and so many people, and I was surprised. 3 days isn't much time to arrange all that. And actually I came back with, we have a slight problem, we have boys in this class. Oh, okay. I think it took you about 6 hours or so, Vaneet, to arrange the cooperation between the girls' school, where we are now, and the co-ed school, the sister school. So we were very, very happy. You came to see us in April. We had the great pleasure of receiving also Mrs. Agarwal and her vice. And then we should arrange going here. It cost quite a lot of money. And the students had agreed with themselves that they couldn't ask their parents for all that money. They had to get the total amount of money down by working somehow as a group. So they did. They took all kinds of jobs at school. You can earn a little money checking whether the other students left the classrooms nicely, things like that. And whenever another class said, we can't do it, okay, we'll do it. So they got a bit more money. And then they asked their families, can we do something in groups? As a group, you need something big. And I think maybe the largest was that they actually put a kind of an ad offering themselves on Facebook. So anyone in the local area who wants something done, and there were. So it wasn't just family. I think they even, a whole weekend, they spent painting the walls in a summer house nearby. So. So now we are here. Our students can't dance, but they prepared a short, I hope, presentation of the country we come from. And they'll try to sing a song by the end. So bear over with us. And once again, thank you so much to the school and to the families this year.
Yes, the agrarian community in Denmark. Denmark is an industry society, but we still make use of a lot of agriculture. And in 2012, 62% of Denmark's area was agriculture. And Denmark's agriculture produces food for about 15 million people.
Well, the Danish Welfare Society, the state is responsible for the well-being of the citizens. The Welfare Society is making some kind of peace of mind. The Welfare Society is some kind of safeguard against poverty. And the Welfare Society is paying for stuff like education, medical care, and kindergarten. We're paying between 37 and 53% in tax to pay for like education, medical care, and kindergarten.
Hvad? Sådan der? Ja, okay. No, yeah, sorry. It was in Danish. This is a map over Denmark, and you can see the ocean around it, and we have two oceans, Kattegat and the North Sea. And we are surrounded by Germany down and Sweden upstairs. Yes, and this is the weather in Denmark. We have 4 seasons, summer, winter, fall, and spring. And in the winter we have snow, so it's very cold. And you can see you can see the photo to the left. It's a photo over the average temperature. So yes.
The Danish education system. In Denmark, you start in school when you are around 6 years old. You start in the primary education until you're in 6th grade. From 7th to 9th grade, you are in lower secondary. And after your lower secondary, you can choose to take a 10th grade or go to a college. Right now, we are in 6th grade at the college. It's our last year, and after this year, we can go to a university.
In Denmark, all education are free. And in addition to this, you actually get paid by the government as long as you're in the process of taking an education and as long as you're in the upper secondary or above. This system is called SU, and it can be translated to State Education Support. And the salary you get from the government, it can vary between 956 kroners to 2,625. In rupees, this is between 9,000 rupees every month, at least, to 26,000 rupees. And that is if you're staying at home. If you're left home, you can get 3 times as much as this.
Yes. To go to school, we have a lot of different transportation. We usually use a bus, a school bus, or riding our bikes. I live far away from the school, so I'm taking the school bus every morning.
It's very traditional to ride the bike in Denmark, and especially in Copenhagen, our capital. You will see almost everybody have a bike. It's kind of like a trademark. And yeah.
Yes, we like this education system in Denmark because it gives all many opportunities and the same opportunities. Yes, everybody is equal.
The intentions of the SU is to reduce the inequality and to create equal opportunities for everybody, and we have experienced this too in our education system. Because if you come from a low-income family, the government will provide you with a higher salary so that you can get as many options as everybody else.
Yes, and now we will tell you a little bit about the Danish nature and outdoor life. In Denmark, we have a lot of nature and we love to spend time in it. And some of the activities we do is like walks and runs and bike rides. And a lot of Danish people have pets, so our dogs are often included in these activities. Yes, and Denmark is a very small country and we are surrounded by a lot of water. So everyone is quite close to the ocean, and everyone has maximum 1 hour's drive to reach the ocean, actually. And here you can see some of the nature in Denmark, like fields and forests and beaches. And the 3 most common animals in Denmark is the deer and the hare and the pheasant. Yes, and in Denmark a lot of people have like a summer house, a vacation house, where you can go in the holidays and weekends. And this is often like placed near the forest or in a forest or near the sea. So it's a place where you can really enjoy the nature. And it's either placed in Denmark or in Sweden. Yes. And we asked our classmates what they like to do in the nature. And this is some of the examples, what they answered. Many of them said that they just like to walk their dogs or go to Boggan in the winter. Or just spend time in the garden with their families, maybe having a barbecue or something. Yes?
And then I will tell you guys something about the hygge we have in Denmark. This is how you pronounce hygge. Hygge isn't a word that can be translated. It's more like a feeling or an atmosphere. But if you would translate it, it would probably be hominess. And then we have a description of what hygge is. Hygge is being with your family or the people that you love. And a lot of Danes think that candlelights is a part of hygge because it creates a nice atmosphere. And when you're with the people you love or your family or friends, you don't sit and stare down your phone. You are with them and you're socializing. And then we make a little list about how you guys can create your own hygge here in India, just like we do it in Denmark.
Yes, I would like to show you some examples of what we eat in Denmark. Oh, what? No. Yeah, this is what we eat during Christmas. It's 2 kind of desserts. And this is what we eat during summertime. Yeah. And all year we eat, this. And this is the national dish of Denmark, which we all eat. And when we celebrate our birthdays, And when we hang out with our friends, we usually eat international food. Yeah, like you can see in the picture. Yes, we want to talk about the Danish festivals and traditions. And the first one is called Masquerade, which in Danish is called Fastelavn. In this tradition, we dress up in costumes, and it's kind of the Danish version of the American Halloween. And then we beat the cat out of a barrel. And in olden times, there would be a black cat in a barrel, but today it's just candy and yeah. And then the kids go trick and treat in the neighborhood, and then we eat these masquerade buns that you can see over there. And this is in February. And then we have April Fool's Day, which is the 1st of April, where we prank each other, and the newspapers also prank by making fake stuff. Yeah, Emma?
Then we have Easter, which is a Christian tradition, and kids will send letters to adults, and they will make rhymes where they don't tell their names. And then it's all about the adults having to guess who the letter is from. And the kids then receive a chocolate egg if the receiver can't guess it. And it's in April, yeah. Then we have a Great Prayer Day, which some of our Indian friends also experienced. And it's just a gathering of a lot of small holidays, and we eat wheat buns and have the day off.
Yes, and then we have Midsummer Eve, and it's a time where we have a bonfire, and in the olden days we burned a witch, and today it's mostly just a doll, like a fake witch we burn. And then we sing community songs, and we celebrate it with the locals, and this is in June. Yeah.
Then we have Advent, which is like Christmas celebration, and it begins from the fourth Sunday before Christmas, and we just bake Christmas cookies and give presents to each other.
And lastly, we have Christmas Eve, which is the celebration of Jesus' birth, and we celebrate it with families, and then we eat dinner and dessert. Yeah? No, yeah, okay. And now we're going to sing a song called In Denmark I Was Born. Yeah. You can see the English version up here, but we're going to sing in Danish.
jeg kunne høre mig selv. Fuck, mand.
That was superb. Dear friends, some lessons of life are never forgotten. The project work done during our stay in Wardenburg gave us a chance to see the welfare of the city up close and gave an opportunity to discuss the perks and the problems. It was an enlightening experience to get a sneak peek not only into the commendable social and welfare system, but also get to know about the constitution and its structure. To throw more light on this and to take the short-term project of analyzing the constitution ahead, we have with us Ishita Bhamri and Garvit Singh from Saintmarks School, along with Emilia from Wardenburg Gymnasium, Denmark. They would present before you their learning experience and, taking it a step ahead, frame a new constitution which would be globally accepted.
Good morning to one and all present here. Today, Emilia, Garvit, and I, Ishita, stand before you all to throw some light on the project work done by us and our friends on our visit to the serene and tranquil town of Wardenburg and Copenhagen. Over the course of 6 days of our cultural exchange program, we indulged in many activities, explored various places, and made an attempt to learn and compare the political system along with the socio-economic conditions of both the countries.
Through the study, we could understand the similarities and the differences between our constitutions and the welfare system of both the countries.
By meeting Mr. Marcus Knuth, the parliamentarian from the Liberal Party, we got an insight into the constitutional monarchy of Denmark and also got to know how a place like Christiania, which started as a social experiment, runs on its own set of laws. Moreover, we learnt about the structural and fundamental policies and procedures of Denmark.
Yeah, and we learned about the world's biggest democracy, India. It was altogether a different experience to design our own flag and choose the type of government that we thought was the best interest of the citizens of not only the two countries, but of the whole world.
Though a few students decided to go with the constitutional monarchy, but most of us supported a federal type of government as the best choice. We and our Danish friends have come up with efficient laws which encourage peace, harmony, and international cooperation. Before Ishita speaks more about our effort, I would like my friend Ritvik Mittal to give a copy of futuristic constitutional that we aspire to have to our esteemed guests.
Thank you. Taking our project a step ahead, we, the future citizens of the world, have framed a constitution where health should be complementary and should be available to each and every citizen of the world. There should be more than one head in the government, which would ensure that the complete power does not rest in the hands of a single person.
More than one house in the parliament should be there, as it would improve the quality of decision making. secularism should prevail in all countries so that people have the right to choose their religion. Fundamental rights such as right to freedom, right to equality, and right to privacy, etc., should be guaranteed by law.
Yeah. Also, education should be made free and compulsory for all, and schemes should be started to encourage attendance. The government, and not only the people, should be responsible to provide employment to the educated. Even the citizens of the country should become responsible and work hand in hand with the government in a syndicate manner for the progress and upliftment of a country. And finally, only the best health facilities and social security should be given to all the citizens of the country.
Good education, better employment facilities, equal rights for all, and a strong and effective political system would create a better world for all of us to live with peace, contentment, and no differences. Thank you.
Thank you so much for this wonderful presentation. As we come close to the end of our program and say goodbye, we want it to be a memorable adieu. I request our chairperson, Ms. Anjali Agarwal ma'am, our special guests from the Royal Danish Embassy, along with Ms. Mette and Mr. Nikolai, to come up on the stage for the exchange of mementos and the distribution of certificates. I would also request Shegil ma'am to please come on the stage. I would also request Ritika ma'am to come on the stage. I would also request Geeta Rajan ma'am to be here. Thank you so much. It is time for our Danish students. Thank you so much. It is time for our Danish students and their host buddies to be felicitated with certificates. We start with the guests first. Victor Anderson, Tim Hansen, Johan Lohmann, Anna Captain, Mathilde Jensen, yes, ma'am. Tim Hansen, Johan Lohmann, Anna Captain, Mathilde Jensen, Camilla Anderson, Laura Elgart, Emila Balser, Camilla Anderson, Laura Elgart, Emilia Balser, Sine Skov Anderson, Emma Hemmer, Catherine Gellett, Can we now have on stage our Indian hosts? Pratishta Atri, Kanika Kapoor, Gunshita Varun, Mridu Sharma, Rishika Kapoor, Bhumika Atri, Ishita Bhamri, Mehak Malhotra, Vidur Narula, Arpit Chopra, Ritvik Mittal, Hardik Garg, Pratham Agarwal, Purav Garg, Garvit Singh, and Yugansh Dhingra. Thank you so much. I now request our special guest of honor, Ms. Sophie Dua-Crum, to kindly say a few words.
Hi. Sorry. Thank you all for inviting us today. I'm very happy to see this very impressive cultural exchange program of these two schools. Also, a special thank you to the young artists who did some wonderful performances. I've been in India for almost a year and a half, and I'm constantly amazed by the by the colorful creativity that exists in this country. This is a sentiment that I hope is shared by the young Danish students who are currently visiting your country. I hope that your journey has been eventful and eye-opening to you all, and I hope that you had made new friends. Similarly, I hope that the students of Saintmarks has had an had an exciting experience in Denmark, an experience that will inspire you to return to explore our country and culture further. I myself went to India 15 years ago as a high school student, and this is an experience that I will take with me for the rest of my life. I want to stress the importance of school exchange like this one, the cultural exchange, a mutual enrichment that occurs when you explore India with Indians or Denmark with Danish, and is truly valuable. Such experience have potential to change one's perspective and change one's perception of other countries and its populations. I hope that this applies to all of you. I hope that this experience will stay with you, and I'm very impressed with the work that you did with the constitutions. This is something that I'll be happy to hear more about after this event. Sorry, it's my throat. In diplomacy, we speak of a concept called people to people, a concept which is becoming increasingly important in today's world. This means that in some way you are all ambassadors of your country. And when Indians go to Denmark and Danes go to India, they tend to come back with a positive view of each other. I hope that this will also go for you. Because when you become friends, you also strengthen the friendship between India and Denmark. So on behalf of the Embassy of Denmark, thank you very much, and I wish you a hyggelig Diwali. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Your words mean a lot to us. Thank you, ma'am. Today, we end this program by saying that the shape and solutions of the future rely totally on the collective effort of people working together. And we are all an integral part of the web of life. Thank you and have a nice day.